Morning, everybody, in person and online. How's everybody doing? Have a good weekend? Enjoying the heat? Ed? Oh, not enjoying the heat? We got some manual labor in front of us. We just got a dumpster dropped off about 10 minutes ago, so we're starting the demo of all the trim and the desks today, and then cleaning up some of the offices upstairs too. So it's the perfect day, and we're doing landscaping outside tomorrow. Ooh. So we're pushing back all the old mulch, getting a sprinkler system installed around the perimeter of the building, and then get new mulch and new flowers and pine trees. So we picked a perfect week to do all that. One way either way. I went on a mile run last night just to get used to it. Died. It was hot. I was burning up. So anyone else have anything fun, exciting to share? That's a good thing. Ed?
Well, let's see. The eviction moratorium is going to expire maybe this week.
Hopefully.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no talks about kicking it further down the road
Not
yet?
that I've read, but
okay.
I won't believe it until I see it.
Same. Maybe we'll talk about that more too, if you wouldn't mind, obviously in the interview. So good stuff. Any new listings or buyer needs that anyone wants to share real quick? Go ahead and unmute yourself and speak, or we got someone. Oh, go ahead.
I have one coming up, hopefully by the end of August. It's in Arden Hills, which is hard to get something there.
Yeah.
It's at least 4,200 square feet. I haven't had a chance to measure it, but it has an indoor heated pool. It's a 3-level house, and the neighborhood backs up to Bethel University. So if anybody's interested, just let me know, because
nice
I have to ask legally, and not sure, because the homeowner said, if you have a buyer, just bring them through. So
we can share it here.
Okay.
Yeah. If you have withheld.
Oh, did I tell you, he's listing it at $600,000.
Okay.
Because the kitchen needs updating.
Okay.
He has added things, it's in 1980 something, but he has added like skylights with the shades and a vacuum,
central vac. Okay.
He's had some cherry, like one wall in the living room, complete cherry cabinets. It's just gorgeous.
That's some nice work over there.
But it does need a little updating. But
Okay.
you can live in it. They're cleaning it now. It's a very clean house.
Okay. Well, especially close to Bethel and everything else.
Still just need carpet eventually flooring.
Okay.
It's from the 1980s.
Cool. Solid listing there. Anybody else? Anyone else online? Go ahead and unmute yourself and speak if you have an upcoming listing or a buyer need. All good. I'll share one. I have an upcoming listing in Brooklyn Park. 2,700 square foot split entry. Did a big addition over the garage. So it has a separate living room, dining room, and master bedroom above that. And huge deck, nice big quarter-acre lot. Crazy part about this home, it has a 6-stall garage in Brooklyn Park. So that is no longer allowed, obviously, in Brooklyn Park. So it was originally split entry, 2-stall garage. They have the 3rd stall on that goes extra deep and around the old 2-stall garage. So the thing is massive, climate cooled, so heated and cooled. Leaving the air compressor there, so it's set up for a machine shop, or he's a big hobbyist. So it's set up nicely. You will not ever get that in Brooklyn Park. So that's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Add something. I'm sorry. And that's another thing about this house in Arden Hills. It's on a lot that's 0.792 acre.
Yep.
That's large in there. It's maybe 2 blocks in there. And he has a 4-car garage attached, and in the backyard, it's a large 4-car, and then in the backyard there's a 2-car garage.
Oh yeah. You just don't find that type of stuff in town. Grandfathered in years and years ago, and you'll never get that. So that's good stuff. Thanks for sharing. Is anyone else? I've noticed a slowdown. So I listed a home in St. Michael this weekend, and literally 2 or 3 months ago, I helped a buy a home 8 doors down. It was listed at $317. We got it for $350, and it appraised for $365. 4-level split, 4-bed, 2-bath. I listed a 3-bed, 2-bath Rambler for $350, and I've had 2 showings on it. Like can't describe what's going on there. It boggles my mind. And I listened to one in St. Paul this weekend that had 4 showings on it only, and we got 1 offer, but like, man, that's a bigger slowdown than I'm used to seeing. So does anyone else have any comments on that? Justice? We kind of talked about any other crazy scenarios you're seeing?
I mean, I had a couple weeks ago, it just closed, but it actually got accepted from the first offer, and it was contingent, which all of a sudden this market was like,
Yeah, right.
Oh, really? I've been noticing there's more contingent.
Yeah, you're seeing contingent, you're getting inspections, you're getting self-pay closing costs.
Getting back to real.
Yep. So I'm just interesting to see, again, like we talked about in the past, spring, summer market, if that peaked 2 months early, and now we're really starting to see that slow down, and we have increased inventory. Scott was saying he saw something like 3 or 4% more inventory in the past 2 months. And obviously that's creating some big supply demand issues going on with what sellers were hoping to see. So it's getting interesting out there. Again, I'm not sure if we just peak early, if we're mid-typical slow July season, it's going to pick back up again, or if in fact we're really going to start seeing a more drastic slowdown than what we've been accustomed to the past few years. So anyone else have anything on that?
I know I'm busy, so.
Yeah, good.
A lot of buyer files and stuff.
Someone's got to keep the lights on. We appreciate it. We'll get into the good stuff. So please, as a reminder, I think all mics are muted. We're good there. GMR Buck Winner from last week, our very own Luann Sherrier. Congratulations, Luann. So we're actually going to, we're incentivizing people to come in now. And we have a bunch of GMR marketing stuff up there. So you'll see all participants are going to get something today. So we're going to start giving out hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs, bottle openers, flashlights, whatever we have, you're getting. So whether you like it or not, you're getting it. It's spring cleaning. Yep. Congratulations, Luann. Company stats. Jerry, you want to come on up? Give us the goods. You want me to do it? Fine. Very well then. Year to date, 526 transactions, total 166 million. Average sale price of 315, so we're still creeping up there. Remember last year we were hovering at 3, so average sale price is still going up. Last year, only 403 transactions the same time, and it was 293. Agents have earned 708,000 more in commissions, and so far I've had 123 more closings year to date. So congratulations, keep that good stuff up. Again, hopefully we'll start to see that number even tick back up further with the hopefully the July slump. So broker updates tomorrow. I'm pleased and excited to announce we have our first monthly training dinner and learn. So as a reminder, it'll be the last Wednesday of every month starting tomorrow. Goes from 5 to 7 p.m. This session, we're going to dive deeper into KV Core. I think we're just going to order some pizza. And it will be in the conference room from 5 to 7, or you can attend virtually as well. Bring your laptops if you are attending in person. It is, like I said, a dinner and learn, and we're actually going to do some practical application on stuff. So, Jenna, do you want to just speak on what we're going to cover tomorrow, if you wouldn't mind?
Yeah, so.
Maybe just come up here if you wouldn't mind. Just to make sure we get the speaker.
Tomorrow we're going to do some practical applications like Joe said. So working through connecting like your Zillow reviews, placing your service areas, and working on building out some SEO that'll help you show up on Google. Understanding your website and what your clients are seeing on your website and how it works when leads come in. Importing contacts if you have them somewhere else. Setting up new campaigns, customizing pages on your personal website, and setting up social media so things will automatically post for you. So those are some of the topics we'll cover this week, and then each week we'll dive it further into specifically customizing your KV Core for you.
Yep. Good stuff.
Yep.
Thank you, Jenna. So Jenna will be there with me to go over all this stuff, and she is our subject matter expert. So again, she'll be with me going over stuff. We're going to start with that. one other cool thing that we want to show you guys is what does a client see, right? So we're going to take you through the client experience. If they're on your site, they inquire about information, they request a showing, what it looks like for you guys, so you understand that and know how to interact with that notification when it pops up. So we're also going to, from a company standpoint, we're going to be customizing the drip campaign that goes out for everybody, unless you guys customize it yourself. You have that ability. Or we're going to start focusing on our company drip campaigns. When we get organic leads coming in, they're going to be getting just a little more value, if you will. So be on the lookout for that. And then as a reminder, with the artificial intelligence, that drip campaign automatically goes out and starts responding to them too. So lots of cool stuff. Again, what Kelly, the KV Core trainer, showed us was awesome. The 30,000 foot view came down. Now we're going to go even deeper with that to make sure you guys really understand the capabilities of this system. So be on the lookout for that. Please join. Monthly role play, first Tuesday of every month. We're going to start that again next week, August 3rd at 9 a.m. So we're going to go over a bunch of different scenarios. Hey, you have a client that says the market's changing. Should I sell now? What do you say? Let's go over that so we know what to say. Buyers who are on the sidelines, who I had 3 buyers this year who just said, you know what, I'm done. Throw in the towel, I'm done. Okay, well, now we have to slow down the market. What conversation can you have with those buyers now to get them back in the market? So that's kind of stuff that we want to talk about. You don't know how to say it properly until you actually practice it. So I'd say let's fail together and fail often as a team instead of out there in the public. So please do attend that. Again, even as a veteran, if you will, in real estate now, I always walk away from every conversation and say, shoot, I wish I would have said, just this. So that's what we want to practice. Make sure we're getting better and better as a team. We're remodeling, so we talked about that. New floors are coming in next week. So demo will be prevalent for a little bit. And then we're changing out the resource area. We're just doing a single height countertop all the way around. We have all new computers and monitors in the resource area. They're all 27 or 32-inch monitors, and they're all the same. They operate way faster than anything we've had previously. So again, we want to make it even more friendly and efficient for agents to come in and see your smiling faces. So come on in and join us. Maybe wait till next week though, after the flooring stuff. It's going to be a little loud, so but come in when you can. GMR merchandise giveaway for in-house meeting attendees. So we talked about that. You're all going to get something today. Who's it? What's that? Yes. Yep. Let's go over that. Is it Oprah that says you get it? You get it. We're gonna do that. CoStar, we had a little issue last week updating, or me getting signed in. Since solved that issue, so I just want to show you guys just a brief little introduction to CoStar. As a reminder, it's only myself that has the account for the brokerage. Every agent is welcome to have their own account. If you want, you just call CoStar and book a demo. So if you're looking to get into more commercial, that's what you want to do. That is the Realtor.com, or not even Realtor.com. CoStar is the Northstar MLS to commercial, and then LoopNet is the Realtor.com to residential for commercial. So I'm going to show you just kind of. I don't know if anyone's ever been on LoopNet, but I'm going to show you the difference between CoStar and LoopNet. In that, if you're on LoopNet as a consumer, kind of like Realtor.com or Zillow, they don't always have all the listings. CoStar is even more like that. We can list commercial properties for you. It'll be under me as the listing agent, obviously, because I have the account. But you do have that capability. We can run sales comps. We can run leases. We can do all sorts of cool stuff. So I'm just going to get into it real quick, and I'll show you a little bit about it. So we'll go to for sale. How can I move on this? So I just want to show you guys the difference between LoopNet and CoStar as far as active listings. So if you guys have commercial clients, that's what I got this for the brokerage. So if you have those deals or need some information on commercial, reach out to me and we can get you that data that you need to to make sure we're properly representing them. I'll just show Blaine as a sample. There. Oh, it's not working for me. I think the screen might be a little too, this part. I'll get out of that.
That's where their
It's right across the street.
park rentals are across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to work for me, unfortunately, just to really compare the differences. So I'll just go back into CoStar. I get all this out really quick. Show up big again. Come on. Here you can see everything for sale. We'll just go to for sale. So here's that, there's a wedding place right down the road by Burger King and the gym. So this shows you all the data. What's cool about CoStar is you'll see this. And I started noticing this now too. They have CoStar cars, or actually kind of research analysts, if you will, that literally drive out to every commercial site and they talk to the owners and they take drone photos, and that's how they're compiling all this data. Whereas Northstar, it's all us as agents providing that. This is actual CoStar has their own employees that go out and gather all this data. So it's a completely different concept and really cool with how much data you can get. Listing agent right there, when it last sold, what it's listed for right now, price per square foot. You can see everything that's kind of available locally or the subject property in the sub-market. So you can get, it's really easy to get just a general idea. As a reminder, we can also do lots, commercial lots as well. You can sell businesses on CoStar. So maybe you're not selling the actual asset or the real estate, but just the business piece. So, I mean, lots of cool stuff. I won't bore anyone too much with it because, again, the commercial is a different deal than most of us are used to. But I just want to let everyone know we do have that capability. There we go. I think we have like Carol the Line. Rebecca has a commercial deal going right now. So again, we found value in getting the system and at least having it if we want to get into commercial more, or if any agent does want to. Next up, I think Dale is coming up. Sorry, I might have goofed everything up for you. Oh, sorry, we'll go through. I skipped.
Yeah.
Justice, want to come on up, Bell Lake Mortgage?
Okay, good morning. Rates are still holding steady. We had kind of a spike yesterday, but it did back today. The idea is that it'll probably continue to drop. So refinances are starting to come back into the mix now. One little thing that I'm seeing a lot with first-time home buyers. So I also had the July dip, and now I see it starting to pick back up with inquiries, apps, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully August will be good. But first-time home buyers, a lot are utilizing down payment assistance. So just a little bit about my process whenever I meet with a client. First thing I'm doing is I'm asking them, we get to know each other, and then ask, where they're looking. The reason I'm asking where they're looking to buy is because certain down payment assistance programs there are city programs and county programs, and then we always have MHFA to fall back on, which is the state-funded program. Because the city and county ones sometimes run out of money. So we always have MHFA, and if we can, with a conventional, if they have good credit, we have a different program where we can get them in we can give them $1,000 credit and then throw on that county or city program onto it. So it actually is a better setup than MHFA.
Cool.
So, but we always have MHFA for the fallback because most people that are trying to buy a house, especially first-time home buyers, can qualify for that. So just keep that in your back pocket if you have first-time home buyers that are thinking like, I don't have enough money saved up. Especially seller pays are coming back into the equation. Last year I closed an MHFA where they put $1,000 of their own money in as earnest money. They got seller pays and used DPA, and that's all they brought in was that $1,000, and they bought like a $220,000 house. So that's MHFA's minimum contribution. They have to bring in $1,000 of their own money. The rest can come from seller pays. And again, the 11,000 gifts. Yep, the 11,000 deferred can cover both closing costs and down payment, which is a little different than other programs. So pretty slick in that sense.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, and that rate is a little higher than the usually the going average. So right now, startup with the 11,000 deferred is 3.375 with no points. So it's a little higher than what a going average would be, and that's why we look at the city or county program first, see if we can attach that, and then they get the same thing with a better deal. And some city county programs are also forgivable. So like St. Louis Park has like a $15,000 one that's forgivable. You have to live in 20 years, but it's still forgivable. Ridgefield does, and so does Eden Prairie.
That's not bad either.
So kind of cool.
Do they have to do like training or a class or anything to get that financing?
Good question. So the question was if they had to do any training or classes for it. They will, as part of the process, after they get an accepted agreement, they'll have to do what's called frameworks for MHFA. It's usually $75. We have a link on my website where it's free. So, and that class probably takes 4 hours, but it's a good class. It's good for first-time home buyers. The other programs, we can even get away with a first-time home buyer program that takes like an hour and it's free. So, usually not too invasive for the clients.
Just covering the basics of how to pay your mortgage and details of a home, or more on the financing side?
More on the financing side.
Okay.
And yeah, it's kind of detailed around anything that a first-time home buyer would want when it comes to what's in their mortgage payment, why they're making those payments, what's PMI, what to expect, and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Cool.
Good stuff.
Thank
you, sir. Appreciate it, Justice. Sam, Wendy, who wants to come up?
I will come.
Both? All right, fair. Take the lead. Sam Untitled Group.
Yes,
Come on up.
hello. So I just, title's title hasn't really changed too much since last week when I was talking about everything. But with you guys talking about KV Core and all the different things that you're learning about and how to use your systems, it just kind of got me thinking. So before I was doing title, I was a realtor.
Okay.
So I use Wendy for all my closings, so that's why
Nice.
I like working with her now. But one of the things that I utilized as an agent was the website that we have. Working with Wendy and everything was really nice, and the website that we have allows you, it was free, it just allows you to do like seller net sheets, gives you more information to be able to tell your clients, what are the closing costs going to be, all that information ahead of time instead of having to do like, oh, let me find out and I'll give that information to you. You can have that ahead of time if they're even going to be going into, trying to get a listing or whatever it is. So it was just definitely something that was really helpful for me.
Cool.
So I just kind of wanted to reiterate that because I know you're talking about your systems that you're going to be using. So
Is it titlegroup.com?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the titlegroup.inc.com.
Okay.
And you have to log in.
Okay.
You can't just do it. You want to log in and make yourself a password.
But
And then you're set.
Cool.
Every time you just log in and work through it.
And the
Cool.
benefit to that too is you can track also your previous listings, your current ones, everything else that you got going on there. And it's got a lot of different tools. So honestly, yeah, I'm upstairs. Anybody can
Cool.
come and just talk.
And you can email if anybody has questions.
Or call me. Yeah.
Log in and stuff.
Any way you want. Just I thought I'd share that with you guys.
Good
If
tool.
That's helpful for you guys.
Good tool. Yeah. Cool. Appreciate it, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for the vendor title updates. Next up, listing updates. Go ahead and fly through that. And we got forms and our long-awaited agent interview. Long waited because of me. I had your schedule. if it works. Congratulations, everybody. Lots of good stuff happening up there. Next up, we have Dale. Marskinny and then. Marskinny for, is it June?
It's my building that was supposed to close tomorrow. It's up front of the house.
That's supposed to close tomorrow?
Builders are that back.
Solid. That's going places. Buyers are thrilled.
We had an online question. Do online viewers receive any merch?
We'll do a drawing. We can do that, Jared.
Yeah.
And you get a hat. Is the Marsky not working?
No.
If not, let's have Dale come up and do the forms. Those going to affect August 1st? August 1st, yep. So August 1st, there's a quick little 4-minute video on that. So let's get that rolling and Dale will just chat about it. Well, we get the video going.
So while that's getting kicked up here, we actually don't have the forms to view yet, but there is on Minnesota Realtors a list of what forms did get changed. There is a new form this year, and I think they'll talk about it actually. It's when you have a seller that needs to find a property in order to sell. That's also, the seller is buying but needs to
Contingent
sell
on
in
their
order to buy.
home
So
selling,
they added a form. It's a contingency form.
which
for
is
the seller.
good.
So we'll see that. Otherwise, most all of them changed again, but I think it's a really small change. So, if you have a new listing or a new buyer they're going to get under contract after August 1st, please use all the old forms. If you do have an existing client, your forms that you had them sign are still okay. Your disclosures are still okay and stuff like that. But for any new business, just have them sign the new forms. Do you want to
Remember that Sunday, that's not a weekday, it's Sundays.
Yeah. And then after we actually get the forms, I'm going to print out a bunch of different copies of stuff and I'm going to highlight the changes. And then we're going to have a little more of a forms heavy Tuesday meeting where we maybe give it like 15 or 20 minutes. And we'll pass around forms that have the highlighted changes and stuff for everyone to look at. That would be a really good one for anyone online to come in.
It's way easier.
It really makes it easier to see what's going on because we'll just pass the forms around. You can look at it. You can look at the changes. And you'll understand what's going on. You really get a lot from coming in. So please.
Also remember, you have to change your templates if you have any.
Yep.
Yep.
They don't carry over.
Yep. Those forms are going to disappear on your template.
Go ahead, kick off that video.
It's that time of year again when we release the annual revisions to the Minnesota Realtors Forms. The 2021 Forms Committee was chaired by Wendy Giles this year. We want to thank Wendy and all of our Forms Committee members for their willingness to volunteer their time on this important committee. The committee considered many suggested changes again this year, with much discussion and debate about numerous hot topics, including buyer love letters, buyer signatures, buyer financing options and contingencies, as well as seller contingencies. We talked about broker compensation and inspection reports, just to name a few topics. Although the committee discussed those topics and many more, the committee ended up making few major changes, but there are some important changes you should be aware of. The disclosures, the purchase agreements, and buyer representation contracts are where most of the changes were made this year. Starting with the disclosures, for the first time in my tenure, we actually get to remove a disclosure obligation. Specifically, the valuation exclusion is no longer available and has become obsolete, so that was removed from our disclosure forms. We also made changes to the working order section of the disclosure form, and we retitled the location map to disclosure statement location map to make it easier for you to find on that form's library. In the purchase agreements, we added some language to clarify the calculation of days. We added play sets to the fixture section, so they are deemed a fixture and will stay with the property unless specifically excluded from the sale on line 36. The committee discussed a request to remove the contingency language for grants and down payment assistance programs, but after much discussion and debate, the committee did not eliminate it, but simply modified the current language to make it clear that the purchase agreement will or will not be contingent on approval of that grant fund program or other loan assistance program. In the new construction purchase agreement, we clarified the contingency referring to the price protection section, clarified that it applies to a purchase agreement that is contingent on the sale or closing of the buyer's property. And then we also adopted a new form, the addendum to purchase agreement seller's contingency for the purchase and sale or lease. This is designed, of course, to assist sellers, particularly in this market with low supply. Sellers are finding a difficult time to find another place. So this is a contingency for the seller to be able to terminate that sale if they're not able to find another property to purchase or lease. In the buyer rep contracts and facilitator services agreements, the committee made clarifying changes to the protective list language to remove any inference that the property had to be physically shown by the broker to be on the protective list. So we did remove that word physically. In a world of virtual showings, we wanted to update that to clarify what would or would not be obligated for a property to be listed on that. We also modified the language clarifying that the broker's obligation to disclose to their buyer any compensation from cooperating brokers prior to the buyer signing an offer to purchase. Finally, on the residential lease, just as a reminder, we did release that, an emergency change to the residential lease early move-in and rent back forms in March of this year. That was because we learned the city of St. Paul had adopted a new rental housing ordinance that required a just clause disclosure in any residential lease. And then the Forms Committee held that emergency meeting to add that particular disclosure. Well, there was a lawsuit brought by a number of landlords claiming that the ordinance is unconstitutional, and the plaintiffs in that case requested the court grant an injunction to stop that ordinance from being implemented, and the court did grant that. So the ordinance is not currently in effect, and we'll certainly be watching that case as it proceeds through trial, and if determined to be unconstitutional, we'll obviously be modifying those forms accordingly. We had other minor corrections and clarifying changes to other forms, and you can find all of the details on our website at mnrealtor.com. And I thank you for watching.
Good changes on the horizon there, specifically that seller contingency. I see all sorts of crazy stuff, and the attorneys and the associations were letting us kind of run wild with what we wanted to put in there for verbiage. So it's good to see that they stepped up and are giving us some formal professional language to use. So good stuff there. Is it working? That's not working. We're going to skip right past it. We'll update it as needed. Next up,
Oh, look at that.
we have one of our top producer big hitters here, who graciously.
That photo was taken yesterday. It's weird you got
Yeah,
it already.
I always wondered that. How old is that photo?
So,
I mean, I still have mine from 2012. I could use shaved face. I probably look like I'm 18. Have no business selling real estate.
You guys are funny.
But without that, without further ado, let's get into the agent interview with, again, one of our top producers, Mr. Ed Drops. Thank you for coming. Always a pleasure. Let's get into the good stuff. You've been in real estate how long?
I have been a realtor for 19 years.
19 years. What did you do previously that what got you into real estate?
So I met my wife in the year 2000.
Okay.
And we dated for about a year, then I asked her to marry me. And during that period, I was working at a liquor store, going to college, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. And she was like, well, I'm going to marry this guy, and I got to get him on the right track. So my father, who was a home builder, was building houses all over the place. And she says to me, you need to get your real estate license. You need to sell his houses.
Naturally.
So that's what I did.
Okay.
I was working for my dad at that time as well, kind of as a laborer, just off and on. But I took it seriously. I went and got my license, and I talked with him first. I said, hey, can I sell for you? He said, sure. So I got the license, started selling, and I've been a realtor ever since.
Wow.
I was not full-time at that time, but.
Did you have a team representing you previously to that? Or how would that structure look like
So,
for you to get in?
well, I, being his son, was able to kind of get in.
Yeah.
He had some realtors on staff, not on staff, but marketing his neighborhoods. But he had a new neighborhood coming up in Blaine, and I gave it to him.
Okay.
So I jumped right in.
What was the major successes or failures, or what you learned during first getting started in real estate, and not only representing a builder on that? What were some of the bigger takeaways or pain points and success at the end?
Well, for me, it was really easy to get into the business because I was being handed listings. I was really lucky. I know that. I didn't have to go out and find business. And I made a ton of money right away.
Yeah.
And then we went on to the next development after that one, and I sold in there. And then the market took a turn. And people stopped buying houses. People stopped buying new construction. And I had zero business. I was working for my dad as well at that time as a W-2 employee. And his business declined, obviously, as a builder, and he had to let me go. So here I am with a third child on the way. I had nothing to sell. I had no income. He took my company phone, took my company truck, and took my insurance.
Jesus.
And it was really hard. Really hard for a while. We were using charge cards. We were charging milk. And we had this third child on the way, who was a surprise, by the way. And so I looked around and I just said, I got to figure this out. This is bad. And the only realtors at that time that were making money, in my opinion, were the realtors that were doing bank-owned properties. And I had a couple of friends that were doing it, and they were just raking it in. And because there were so many of them. So I devoted the next several months of my life to figuring out how to do that. And I learned, I researched, and with a little luck, perfect timing, I started getting in with some of these banks. And then I started making money. And I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah, and it kind of, so lead up to really how you started talking asset managers. What did that all look like? Because it was, uncharted territory with how significant it was going through short sales, foreclosures. That landscape looked completely different than it does today, but again, could be on the horizon.
Well, yeah, I think so, at some level, for sure. But yeah, it just like anything, there are forums and just places to research. And I just, like, I would dive in on the computer and just spend hours. How to do this, who's doing this, forums, talking with friends. And yeah, figuring out what to do next, getting a resume together. I should add that shortly or during that time is when I came to Green West Realty. 12 years or something. Okay. 12, 13 years. I have been doing bank-owned properties since the day I got here. Okay. And I was always with smaller brokerages because I didn't want to pay the huge percentage. And that's my opinion still today. And I jumped from a couple at the beginning. But when I determined I wanted to get into the bank-owned property business, I wanted to find a brokerage that didn't have kind of a main REO person. Because it seemed like every other brokerage that did REO business had kind of one person.
Yeah, you can see that too.
Right, and I didn't see that here. So I didn't want to come in some brokerage and have to compete with somebody right away, especially as a guy who'd never done it before. So that's why I chose this place, the location, the splits, and then the fact that there wasn't a big heavy hitter here already with respect to REO properties. So I came over here, I told Mary, hey, I'm going to be a big-time REO agent. She probably
Let's see.
but within just a couple of months, I started selling properties.
I mean, at your height, 2011, 2012, maybe 2010, what was the amount of active REO listings you had?
I think 2014 was my biggest year. I was ranked in the top 20 in the state for volume, and my highest in my inventory was 104 properties.
Managing that.
Yeah.
Talk to us about what that looks like to manage that and a team that you put together. What system did you have in place?
Well, yeah, that was pretty busy.
Yeah.
And I had one of the agents here working for me as my BPO agent because they're always doing BPOs. And I had a couple of people helping with property checks because we have to hit every property every week. And then I was doing tons of stuff as well, just running, putting out fires and dealing with agents and just manage. We repair a lot of the properties, so we're remodeling them, so I manage that. So yeah, several people working for me at that time. And now today I only have one that just helps me with some of the back end billing, utility billing and stuff like that. You know, if I get busy again, I'll hire more people.
Yeah. It ebbs and flows. And what do you see the future then of REO, obviously with this market and where we are in the cycle?
Yeah, so going back to following forums, newsletters in this business, people are saying that there is going to be a wave, not a tidal wave like before, but everyone's just kind of saying, I don't know how there can't be.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, they've been doing over the last year and a half with these moratoriums is just prolonging the inevitable. There are still, unfortunately, a lot of people out there that have not been paying their mortgage and maybe didn't do a forbearance plan, maybe didn't do the responsible things that you could have done to maybe get back to keep your house once the eviction process is started again. There just hasn't been any sheriff sales for a year and a half. And those are going to start up again, maybe next Monday, maybe the following month, who knows when, but it's going to happen. So I feel like I am well positioned for when that does happen.
Yeah. What do you have, any advice for our agents? Now, granted, we're not talking to banks or anything, but just potential clients who are in these types of programs. What kind of support do they have? I mean, I don't know if you dabbled in short sale stuff at all.
No.
Or you just wait till the bank, the asset manager, gives a list.
Yeah, I can't really speak to that.
Okay.
I really can't. But looking over the questions, I did also kind of want to talk about my traditional business as well. I do have some traditional business that I do throughout the year. The gravy train has always been REO, but my wife and I entertain all the time. We are entertaining once or twice a week, whether it's the hockey team, the lacrosse team, friends, just we are always doing something with people we know. And the deals that I get from our friends and from the team parents, from just all this entertaining that we do is really, there's a lot of
Big
deals.
growing business.
Yeah, and they continue to come. And so I'm always talking to people, always being friendly to people on the team. As you can imagine, I have 3 kids. They are all in sports, and we participate in all of that stuff. We're always nice to people. And for those of you that have kids in sports or have in the past, you know about sports politics, right? So-and-so made the team. There's always something going on. I don't get involved in that. I try to be friendly with every single person on every team and not be the gossip person. And I really think that a lot of people like me because I'm always just being nice and I'm always inviting people over or whatever. And it has really translated into a lot of business over the last many years.
I remember a few years back when you were hosting the sales meeting, you talked about just being a brand ambassador or wearing the brand, right? So you wore that hockey game. You got, remember you shared a story that you got a lead just from wearing
A jacket.
A jacket.
Yeah, because there's people out there that still, I mean, like, there's always the joke, you know, you got to remind your mom that you're a realtor every week.
Yeah.
There's people out there that don't know you're a realtor, but you may see all the time.
Yeah.
Just because they might be shy. They might not ask. They might not want to talk. So, yeah, that's really good stuff.
Yeah.
Just wear it on your sleeve. You don't have to talk.
Even easier that way.
Right.
Silently advertise. Yeah. Talk to us about family and all that. So kid, you have 3 of them. I know you live in Blaine.
Yeah, born and raised Blaine and Ham Lake. Parents moved a couple of times, but yeah, we didn't move far, and still live in Blaine now. 3 kids, ages 11, 13, and 15.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on there with hormones and stuff coming in too, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, we're busy. We're having fun. I really enjoy this business too because I can do what I want when I want. I am not stuck in a spot during the day. I can go to that hockey tournament on Friday, or whatever it is. We can go to the cabin on Friday. And I'm just really thankful to be in the business and be successful enough to make a career out of it.
Yeah. I know you've had some diversification too, right? So maybe you want to share about, finishing basements and, if one part of your business might go dormant for a little bit because of outside pressures.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I got a family. I got a family to feed. My wife's at home with the kids. Always has been. So I saw REO going down a year ago or a year and a half ago when the moratoriums went into place, and I just had no feeling that was going away anytime soon. And here we are, a year and a half later, still around. So I had several listings in various stages past eviction when the moratoriums went into place. So I was still going up until about a year, maybe 11 months ago. And then nothing. All these people sitting in these houses that I have in my inventory that we can't get well. So I'll be hitting the ground running when I can finally. But so I had to figure out some other stuff to do. I had some good traditional business last summer, but this winter has been slower. So I started finishing basements. I just kind of accidentally got into that one
for the story.
And, one person do it for a buddy, and then he tells another buddy. And that's like word of mouth, same as the real estate stuff. So I started finishing basements, and I've been doing that now for many months.
Yeah.
Still have some going now. Yeah. So just something to fill in the gap a little bit, because if I'm not making the money, nobody is. Gotta keep going.
Yeah, and a valuable lesson for everybody, right? I mean, you've seen business slow down. All of us have had our ebbs and flows with it. You maybe get burned out, or the market, outside pressures kind of force you to think strategically and diversify. So, I mean, that's a great story to share, and I appreciate you sharing that because, again, you've seen it 2 different times now, and you've been able to ride any kind of wave while still staying in real estate.
One
Different
way,
ways. One way or the
That's
other.
amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
What does accountability look like daily for you then to make sure that the business is still on track? You know what you're doing daily. What does a routine look like for you?
Well, yeah, so I get up early. My son, my kids went to school really early, so I would get up and bring them to school. And then I come back to my office and get on the computer and see what tasks I have. I still have a lot of stuff to do with the REO business. I'm just not making any money. But what do? I can't stop because like I said, I got a ton of properties in my inventory. They're just sitting there. So
check them. And
I still have to check them. A couple things going on at a couple of properties. Make sure they're not broken into. Just stuff to do always. And then I have a task-based system that I communicate with the bank with. And there's always stuff to do there. But then I'll reach out to any clients I have, make sure I'm staying in touch with them. I don't do any lead programs. I never really did.
sure.
I don't have, never really used any systems to track business. I've used my personality, I guess, and being out in the public, with friends. A lot of the things that I mentioned earlier.
Well, that's just a huge network in general. And that has the ability, again, meet one, talk to one, get that one. They get you one, they get you two. Naturally, over the years, that just snowballs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the goal anyways. I mean, with that, there's ups and downs too, but it's been fairly decent. Yeah. I gotta say, I have some buyers right now that came to me from their friend, who came to me from their friend, who I met on Zillow about 7 years ago. So the Zillow lead, I showed a couple houses to. She bought one in Forest Lake, sold it 2 years later, called me, sold it, found her a new house. She referred me to her friend, sold her a house, and then she referred me to the people I'm working with right now. These people are getting married. They're selling both their houses and they're buying one. You never know.
It's as good as a divorce. And
Yeah. So don't ignore those little things.
And again, from years and years ago, the fruits of your labor are coming to fruition now.
Yeah.
So
Right.
do you follow up with past leads?
No.
You send a newsletter, or
No.
it's just good
Not really
business? Yeah. Just solid business. Great. I have a few of them, but again, if you do the right business and you have a great personality, naturally people are going to remember that experience, and that's what matters most, right?
I like to call people. I like to check in. I got a client in Circle Pines that just sold their townhouse last month, and they picked up and moved to Florida. They waited at the title company for their check. Their whole cars were packed. They drove south and they never called them back.
Yeah.
Well, I've called them to say how's it going in Florida. They moved over to the Villages. They're retired folks. And I'm probably never going to get a referral.
Right.
But I genuinely like to hear how it's going in the Villages. Are you playing pickleball? What are you doing?
Yeah.
And they enjoy that. So I do stuff like that, but I don't have any program where I send magnets out.
Yeah. I tried doing that once. I'm with you there. A good experience. Almost any little souvenir, if you will, or brand souvenir.
That's just how I've always done.
Yeah. Solid business from.
Yeah.
Over 60 closings in the past 2-year period. So, I mean, that speaks volumes, right? Just good business. What does the next 5 years look like for you? Where do you want to be?
I'm happy with what I do. I'm not going to retire in 5 years. I hope that business does pick up in the next year, and then I just want to be a realtor, and I want to make enough money to feed the family and go on a vacation or two, and go to the cabin. That's really what want to do the next 5 years. Just kind of do my thing. And I don't do a lot here at the office. I feel like I'm pretty low maintenance. I just want to do my thing. I just want to make a living and have fun doing it.
Lots of good cabin pictures I see, and really enjoying the kids is what I see most, is what you value.
Right. I will reschedule anything if I got a kid thing going.
Yeah.
And whenever someone wants to see a house or meet, I go straight to the sports schedule first. Call me crazy, but that's what I do. I will go to that almost always first before, because really real estate you can schedule most of the time. People will be friends.
I like to say, yeah, and for those running, I mean, I did this in the past and got burned out, right? That's the easiest way to get burned out is failing or making other commitments and then having to reschedule that with family and friends and everything else. And that's the most valuable time wasted. And what I learned out of this is that nothing in real estate is an emergency. I heard that from somebody and it finally clicked with me.
Very few things.
Yeah, very few things in real estate are an emergency. It can always wait till the next business day. Again, you think about attorneys, they turn off their phone and we are the only profession, I think, that bends over backwards for clients, and it doesn't need to be that way. And I think that's kind of part of the image that we get, right? If we treat ourselves like a professional business, like an attorney or something or a doctor, if you will. No, you're going to take time off during your work schedule, and you're going to come see me at 10 a.m. Monday through Friday, because that's when I do business. I mean, it's just crazy to see that real estate and all these other professions are so different in how they operate.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Good stuff. What else what should I ask you that I haven't already?
Not real good with those types of questions.
All right. Easy. Audience, anyone online have any questions? We're not leaving without one. We'll sit here all day.
Any advice for new agents?
There you go. Good question.
Yeah, like I said, I was really lucky, and I know that. When I got in, I didn't really have to do much. But get yourself out there, be outgoing, talk to everybody, whether it's the person that does your hair, the cash register, everybody you see, whether it's you go to church, you have kids, anything you do. Don't just start the sentence with "I'm a realtor," but ask them questions. Always ask questions. Don't be the person that is being asked questions. Be the person that's asking questions. Everybody loves to talk about themselves, but no one loves to hear someone else talk about themselves unless you're in sales. I need to love to hear people talk about themselves because they'll like you. Oh, they really, they have. So just ask question after question after question until really they get bored of you, because they won't get bored. People love to talk about themselves. And then maybe they'll say something about moving or whatever, and you can jump in. Yeah, I'm a realtor. So just that's my biggest piece of advice is be outgoing and get yourself out there and just talk with friends, family, and strangers.
Can't get paid being a secret agent in this business.
No. If you are not outgoing, it's going to be a tough go.
I really like that part where ask more questions. You're absolutely right. People love talking about themselves. Mm-hmm. And the deeper questions you get, the more fascinated they get. They let their guard down. And, a good sales strategy, then you can sneak in, as you said. If they relate one thing to housing, chime in real quick and keep asking questions.
Yeah.
Solid.
And maybe even say, hey, I just sold a house. You don't even have to say you're a realtor.
Yeah.
Those are types of things you learn just talking about real estate over the last 19 years like I have. Just kind of try to be self, but continue to ask questions.
Anybody else online? We got one question, so I'll let you guys leave at least now. We're all good? Cool.
I can comment. A couple years ago, I was with my son at the Centennial Ice Arena, and he had banners up of different realtors. And I liked yours the most, because yours was nice to friendly. I like your picture.
It's a big picture. Same one.
Don't go chase it.
Yeah, so I have sponsored a dashboard at the ice arena. We are Centennial people. I've sponsored their various teams just to get the name on the jersey, and just another way to let people on the team know that I'm a realtor. And it's paid off. I mean, no stranger is going to call me off that dash report. It's the people that I coach or on the team with. They might see, and maybe I haven't talked to them yet, but they might see the name, oh, Ed's a realtor. And then when I invite them over for the team party, get a couple beers out, everyone wants to talk real estate.
Yeah.
And if they know there's a realtor, yeah, it's just like magic. Yeah. So that's just one of the things I do.
Solid model. I like that.
It's not all about getting people wasted, but
You're right. But it starts.
Yeah.
It's a good start. Do we have an online comment I saw come in? I just want to make sure we're not missing a question.
Great realtor from Mary.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you, Mary.
All's good.
All right,
Ed,
guys.
We appreciate it.
Thanks for
Brady.
having me.
We appreciate you coming in.
Yeah.
Great interview. Best to date. Thank you. Good stuff. We'll leave off with that.
That's it.
We've done our job.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Go forth, everyone. Have a great week. Be successful in whatever you do. Have those conversations and ask the questions.
Giveaway.
Giveaways. Yes. Start throwing stuff. Ed's running. And you get up like that.
Aw. Very nice.
There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good stuff. We're going to start throwing stuff out. So have your fun. Thanks, everyone, for attending online. Annette,
Throw
great
it out, or
meeting.
you
Thank
wanna
you
do a
very much.
drawing? Throw your cards in here, and then we'll just say.
Give it. No, it's
All right.
fire sale. Yeah.